So, dear colleagues, we continue working day at Ukraine Crisis Media Center. Thank you for coming. Thank you to those who watch us online. And the topic of the next press briefing, Kyiv Comic Con 2016 program and participants. Our guests are Maria and Oleksandr Shaguri, organizers of the cultural festival Kyiv Comic Con, and also Yegor Olesov, producer of the Ukrainian fantasy film group, and Mykyta Kozhumyaka film Dmytro Belinskiy, and Sergiy Melnyk, vice president at the Computer Sports Federation of Ukraine, co-founder of the cyber sports organization Keybear Capital. And I give the floor to Maria. Good afternoon. First of all, we are glad to see you at our press briefing. And secondly, I would like to tell several words about Kyiv Comic Con. This event is held for the second time. It will be held on the 15th and 16th of 2016, and we have tickets on sale, and I invite all the journalists, if you are interested. The accreditation is open for this event. You can be accredited through the site and media sector, and I'm going to tell you about the program. So I start, and then Alexander will continue about literature sector. So we will have the meeting with the famous fantasy writers, Henry Lyon Oldie, then Natalia Sherba, Olga Gromyka from Belarus, and also there will be some presentations of books and translations of Games of Thrones, fourth edition in Ukrainian, and there will be several discussions about some fantasy for youth, and also about Mars and other fantasies about comics. Till the 20th of April, there is a competition of comics. We hold it in cooperation with Wacom. This is the producer of graphic tablets, and also you can present your works, and the best will be published, and there will be second edition of the almanac, and also to this Comic-Con, and the winners will get the prizes. And also about the comics, there will be several translations of the comics. This is Jerome Stilton. This is for kids. It's a translation of Italian comic book for kids, and there will be presentation of a translation of Maxima Igor Baranko, the Park, and all the comics that are present in a Ukrainian market. And also about the program, we will invite, there will be an alley of comics. There will be separate room where there will be some comic magazines, and also there will be graphic tables, and there we'll have there will be some artists that will present their works, and they will show how they do it, and they will take part in charitable project. This charitable project is the creation of a picture, colorful, bright, with heroes from comics, with superheroes. And we plan to present this picture to children's house or some children's hospital. And I give the floor to Alexander. But before this, if I remember correctly, please show the video from the previous Comic-Con.
Пан Олександр Шагурі.
Oleksandr Shaguri, thank you for coming. Thank you for those who watch us online, and we are waiting for you and our Comic Con. And I'm going to tell you about the program and the blogs and the manga and video games and cinematography. And then I will give the floor to other speakers who will tell you about other parts of our program. This is not the whole program, because you know that here in Ukraine and in the world, everyone likes to postpone some things, and we tell you about confirmed things now. Let's start with cinematography. We do this program together with NGO, Modern Ukrainian Cinema, and here there are representatives of this organization. And if you have questions, you may ask them about it later, and I'm going to tell you what will be of interest to you. Firstly,
First of all, the Kama Studio will hold a master class from creators Finemon VFX, Vadim Konov and Alexei Prihodka. This will be about making cartoon films, animation, video effects, etc. We will have also short films and visual effects like it will be held by Wizard Studio. Then Червона Собака Studio will hold its own master class, the visual effects in making cartoons with plastic mass, and one more studio will present creation of anime. We will have also some individual master classes like Vova Vlasenko, Ruslan and Lyudmila, which in more detail will be described by our Animagrad colleagues. Then there will be visual games in two formats: interactive visual games. Also, the attendants will be able to play these visual games, and the second part will be a presentation of visual games. And here we planned 3 big projects for presentation. 11-bit studio from Poland, and Marek Zimak from the studio will make a presentation. He will describe his work on the latest project, This Word of Mine, and present the future release of this new version of this game. They also will describe how they produce new games, and their indie developers are interested to contact Ukrainian indie developments. Then we will have presentation from Ukrainian studio provers, which except casual games also have their Sherlock Holmes visual game. This is one of the most famous Ukrainian studios, and they will make presentation in this block. And master of volume presentation. Currently, we expect to have a new edition of the board game. Then we will have a joint block of video games or visual games and IT. And the Ukrainian company Pilgway, which is producer of 3D code software product, they will hold the competition of software and they will hold the competition and among 3D modelers. Also, we will offer a presentation of 3D games. We still accept the games for this competition. Also, later I will give the floor to our partners from the Federation. As for me, I will describe console entertainments, PlayStations, Xboxes, and retro games. Retro games, there's a surprise. We won't inform you in advance. We will have latest releases of the oldest games. And we will have jazz dance with consoles. I will describe in more detail anime and manga. Anime and manga will form a separate block. We do not know exactly the final program, but this will be master classes on Japanese wood carvings, anime drawings, manga drawings, and also we will show Japanese anime, unfortunately with Russian dubbing, but we have to decide what should we show. Thank you, Oleksandr. I invite Yegor Olesov, producer of a group. Thank you for Comic Con organizers for this invitation. I think this will be a new, good, interesting experience for us. You might know that Comic Con, which is held in San Diego, big movie studios present investment projects because they show some exclusive materials. This inspired us to present two our projects on the Comic Con framework. One will be Ukrainian fantasy based on Volodymyr Rudkovsky book. We will show some exclusive materials, costumes, some objects from the sound stage, directly from the sound stage. Yeah, the first teaser is already in the internet, and you can have a look on it. We made our shooting all around Ukraine, including in Carpathian Mountains, Dolbash Rocks, etc. Also, we created a huge scenery on our sound stage near Kyiv. So welcome to Comic Con. We will be happy to welcome you there and to answer your questions. The second project, which we will show on the framework of animation or cartoon section, this will be our Ruslan and Ludmila project. This is a full-scale cartoon film in 3D format. We will show the first footage of this film, and the last year cinema market, this year cinema market, we targeted some agreements, and we target the international distribution for this movie. Also, the visitors will be able to see sketches, concept materials, which are usually not accessible for the broad public. And we plan to have some interactive communication, and people, our guys will be able to answer your questions. On the framework of cartoon section, we will show some cartoon films from our archives, which were shown on the Linoleum Framework Festival. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you, Yegor, and I invite Dmytro Belinskiy, producer of Mykyta Kozhumyaka cartoon film. We have been working on Mykyta Kozhumyaka cartoon film for a rather long period of time, and we have gained very interesting experience, and we would like to share this experience. There will be two presentations at least. The one will be made by our artists and describe the scenes from this cartoon, and the second will be the animative part of this cartoon, and those actors who made the sound to this film. I think this will be a funny action, because there should be really very merry and funny people who deal with the sound to the cartoon films. I think that the cartoon film will be finished by summer, and I think that up to 20-25 minutes from our movie we will show on the framework of this Comic Con. And Sergiy Melnyk, Vice President at the Computer Sports Federation of Ukraine. Well, good afternoon. We organize cyber sport events, and at Comic Con we will present such popular cyber disciplines as follows. League of Legends, Dota 2, etc. All the participants will get the individual numbers, and we will compete we will select the teams, the random teams of players. As for Hearthstone, it will be held in a form of in some special form. The winners will get primes from Zona 51 shop, and Keybear Capital invites you to come and to participate in our tournament. Do we have questions? Are there any questions? I will start.
What is the cost of the ticket? And the price is 200 hryvnias for 1 day, 300 for 3 days. There are e-tickets with discount. It costs 170 1 day and 250 for 2 days, and free access for children. And also for those who you can get a discount if you a participant of some kind of in some of our activities, if you participate. So maybe you can be followed on Facebook. If you search Kyiv Comic Con in English, Russian, or Ukrainian, you can find us on Facebook, and contact, Twitter, and we are open in any format in social media. You can find us easily, just putting information on the computer. So do you have some questions or clarifications? Good afternoon, Dmitry. You said that there will be presentation of 3 games from 3 distributors, producers. And is it possible to test these games? Some of these games, they were not produced, they are not in beta or alpha access, so you won't have access, direct access. The presentations will be held in cinema hall, and it will be behind the scenes, and the materials from the production facility, so you can look inside. There won't be opportunity to play because of the license, because these games are in production. We can only do it in the format, in this format. Okay, I have a question. And what is new in this Comic-Con if we compare it with the previous one? And is it going to be held in the capital or in other regions of Ukraine? So these are new elements. We spoke about new elements of the program. We don't speak about display defile. There are some novelties and 2 nominations from Marvel and DC, who they provide prizes, but this is old element of the program, as well as different activities on site, food court, market, souvenirs. So all these elements we are speaking now, they are new. And what is the second question? And what about Comic-Con and the regions? No, we plan to conduct Comic-Con in Kyiv, and there was a Comic-Con in Odessa, but now it isn't held. So this is the only event of such a format. Do you have other questions? Yulia Volkhovskaya, UCMC. Alexandra, you said that this year the program is connected with animation, and it was broadened compared with previous year. So do you plan to present this program outside the festival, for example, in the cinemas, and to broaden your master classes activity? So this is a very good question. Last year, not we, but Ukrainian Modern Movie. They presented this program in the Lira Cinema house, but this is an art house format. We have partners from networks of cinemas, and this materials, they will increase in quality. Of course, there is some Ukrainian works are presented on the festival, and after Comic Con we will have the program, maybe some nostalgic moments, and then whether it will be a separate festival, maybe there will be some other programs, follow-up programs connected with our festival, and we will inform you on this in the media. Next question. Igor Bliznyuk, information portal censor. And what about the registration of films and how many people are registered for the presentation of their films? Short films, we said there are 3 CGI projects, and we told you about 50% of our program, and the registration is open. So when timing will be provided on the site of our project, so the registration will be closed. But now we can add something to our program. There is one more question. It's not a question, I just want to comment. I'm Ramana. We are a partner. Yeah, I represent the partner of the festival. Wizard also, this is a festival conducted in Lviv, short film festival. The organizers of the festival always go to Europe and they watch short films where these visual effects are used, and our partners prepare separate projects, and they can contact the organizers. We, as modern Ukrainian cinema, as an organization, we are ready to accept these films, so please contact us. If you don't have other questions, so one more question, and then we will end. Anapriyanka Oleg, Open Gamer.com.ua. Last year, the Comic Con took 2 floors, and this time there will be more space for this activity. So this year we will take first and third floor. It will be completely occupied. Previously, only half of this floor was occupied, and we will also have some events for. So there will be presentations and presentation of graphic materials, and these materials will be presented in the cinema hall. That's why cinema hall will work for 2 days, and also don't cite us, but this is maybe we will do the concert on Friday or Saturday. There will be a musical concert, and we will see what will be added to the program. We have 3 or 4 big elements of European level, and also we carried out some activities in the street, and there will be a recreational area, and so maybe the space will be the same, but maybe it will be broadened in order to provide more activities for the people. So we invite you at Ukraine Crisis Media Center in order to announce your events. Thank you very much for coming. Until the next time, goodbye.